Hey, what's up, ghouls and gals? Today's video is our December movie, everything I watched in December wrap up. This is going to be a little different this month because we did watch quite a few movies, but we also did our film fest, which I feel like I almost talked about to death. So instead of talking about all of the films that we did watch, we watched 33 movies, I'm just gonna kind of pick a few of my standouts and then move on to whatever else we watched, because this is going to be a little bit of a quicker wrap up. I just kind of want to move into all of the new things that we watched. Also, our film fest was a lot of non-horror movies, and this is a horror channel, so I feel like we're gonna focus on the spooky stuff. So if you enjoy, please go ahead and give this video a thumbs up, subscribe for more, check out all of my links down below if you would like to see any more of me or support the channel any further. I will also leave my Letterboxd link down below as always, so you can see all of the films that we watch throughout the month. I actually cannot believe we are in 2025 now. I've had my Letterboxd account since like 2018, and I feel like movies just keep getting better and better, and like horror just keeps getting better and better. But I'm also discovering so many classics that I did miss out on previously, and catching up on movies like Vertigo with our film fest, like it was just so fun, but we'll get into it. So on December 1st, 2nd, and 3rd, we actually watched the Paradise Lost documentary about the West Memphis 3. There are 3 parts to it. The first one is called The Child Murders at Robin Hood Hills. The second one is called Paradise Lost 2 Revelations. And the third one is called Paradise Lost 3 Purgatory. I gave them all 4 stars. They are very good, very sad about a crime that is ultimately very, very so harrowing and so upsetting. But it was also like a crime on the 3 that were wrongfully imprisoned, and there's some characters in these docs that, like, once you start watching it, it is so, like, I would almost compare the one guy in this documentary to almost like Joe Exotic, and also the one Michael something, the adopted father in the Natalia Grace documentary. If you guys watch that, like, I feel like you guys would get it, like the person that I'm describing. But then right from there, we moved into our film fest, and every year we do put on a whole film fest, and this year I wanted to make it as accessible as possible, so I uploaded all of the movies to my Patreon, and there are 33 movies that we watched that are still up on Patreon right now that you can watch. All of the films are on there. You can watch them at your leisure, but over the course of 4 days, 5 days, I think we stretched it out a day this year, we watched 33 films. This is something that we started last year, kind of taking it as our winter break. I usually save a vacation day and we use that, and we just kind of spend the few days vegging out, watching movies, catching up on movies from our watch list, and like meticulously planning it out so we can maximize our time watching these movies. We just love watching film and discussing about everything that going into, like, Alex and I are big movie people, and doing our film fest is a big highlight of the year. So I will say a few of my standouts. Wicked City, finally caught up with Wicked City, and it was awesome. Frank Henenlotter's Bad Biology was so just weird, sickening, and everything I thought it was going to be, and I love Frank Henenlotter, so I'm so happy. I unintentionally added so much explicit. I didn't realize so many of these films were going to be so explicit. Lorna the Exorcist, I'm looking at you. I literally did not realize it was a full softcore porn. We did a first time watch of Santa Sangre, and that movie was honestly so incredible and so well done. Dogville, Lars von Trier's Dogville, a 3-hour shocking epic. The Serpent in the Rainbow, oh my goodness, I've had that on VHS for so long, and it was so nice to finally sit down and watch it. Bill Pullman never disappoints. A recent release, Monster, that was a heavy watch, but it was really, really, really solid, very emotional, like really, it's kind of disturbing, but in a way where it's more shocking than anything. And like, I don't want to spoil it for you because I had no idea what it was going to be about going into it, but it really did by the end just touch my heart in such a way that I wasn't expecting. We did a first time watch of Vertigo, and I'm so happy we finally watched it. Alfred Hitchcock, I've said it before and I will say it again, he is the master. He is such a great master of tension and story building and all of the mysteries of film, and I just love watching and dissecting his films, and Vertigo was so well done. And then we wrapped up our film fest by watching The Mean One, which I don't necessarily think was a good choice, but I wanted to end it on like a Christmas note because it was December. Great effects, really great effects, solid effects, but oh my gosh, it was terrible. Alright, so now that we've got the film fest out of the way, on the 10th we watched Heretic, and it really was such an engulfing watch. I will say that movie did take up so much of my attention because when you just kind of watch, if you're like doing something or like if you just kind of have it on in the background, I don't think it's gonna be as effective for you, but when you just kind of give yourself over to this film, it truly is a true horror film. The twists, the build up to what we get at the end, there's so many questions and unanswered questions and answered questions and just things that we have to kind of think up for ourselves, and I don't know, there's just so much that went into like making this film so good. The performances were incredible. Chloe East was a very big standout for me. I love Sophie Thatcher, and I will watch her in anything she's in, but it just kept going and going, and so many shocking moments in this film, and it really was a great, like, this is a really good rainy night, like a nighttime watch. Turn all your lights off, set some mood lighting, some candles even, a blueberry one I may suggest, and just give yourself over to this film. On the 13th, we watched Rare Exports with Joe Bob's Christmas Carnage special, and I am so sad that I did not see this sooner in my life, but it was such a good, when I want a Christmas film, I want this. I don't like a Hallmark Christmas film. I don't like cheesy Christmas films. I want like an Anna and the Apocalypse, you know, like, so I'm not necessarily comparing the two whatsoever, but it's, I guess, the carnage of it all. And also by the end of Rare Exports, I was just a puddle of tears, like happy tears. It was such a good movie, and like with the horror and with whatever we got, or whenever we got like a tense moment, there was also like comic relief and a really heartfelt ending. On the 17th, we finally watched Anora, and I did not like, I may be in like the minority here, but I did not like Red Rocket, but Sean Baker, you won me back with Anora. Talk about a captivating watch. On the 18th, we watched Dunkirk. Sometimes we go back and watch these like historical war epics that I've never seen, that we're just kind of catching up on. It's a genre that like I don't talk about enjoying very much, but these are really good films. One that really stuck with me was All Quiet on the Western Front. Oh my, come and see. Oh my goodness, so sad. Anyways, moving on to Wicked. Finally watched Wicked. That's something else I don't normally like talk about, is I love musicals, and Wicked just absolutely stole my heart this year. I kind of spent so much time in the world of discovering Wicked and reading some of the book and getting to know the characters in the world and catching up on the musical lore, that by the time I saw the movie, I could not help my tears, and I cried for 3 full hours, and I honestly had a headache for 2 days straight. Like, my eyes were so puffy, I didn't know how to act. Like, it changed my brain chemistry. On the 19th, we watched Little Bites, and if I would have seen this sooner, I would have 100% put it in my horror honorable mentions. This is directed by Spider One, who we love here on the channel, and starring Chrissy Fox, who we also love here on the channel. And it is really it's a really dark story about grief and how it eats away at you in little bites, if you kind of get the name there. Some solid cameos: Barbara Crampton, Bonnie Aarons, just amazing horror community fan faves. So if you're looking for a more bleak horror watch, definitely check out Little Bites. On the 19th, we watched Clint Eastwood's Juror Number 2. I wasn't expecting to like it as much as I did, and I wasn't expecting for it to be as like so dramatic. Like, it was so gripping. And also, like, talk about a stacked cast. That movie honestly did have a very stacked cast. On the 20th, we finished the Creep tapes. We had kind of watched it sporadically throughout the, I would say, month. Yeah, that was good. I'm a big fan of Creep, big fan of Mark Duplass, but this had a couple of cameos that I was so happy to see, being Josh Rubin, for one, who I love. Josh Rubin has a new movie coming out this year called Heart Eyes. And then Kreisha Fairchild, who was in Trey Edward Schultz's, and you guys have seen Trey Edward Schultz's actual film Kreisha that I've talked about on the channel before. His aunt pops up in the Creep tapes. I wasn't expecting it at all. It was one of the best episodes in the whole series. On the 21st, we watched a documentary called Sugarcane about the residential school situation here in Canada, which has been absolutely horrific to discover and uncover, and my heart goes out to everyone involved in those situations. I truly believe that this documentary should be required viewing, especially if you are in the surrounding areas of where this happened. And I truly feel like some of these scenes in this documentary could be art exhibit pieces, informational art exhibit pieces. It was so well done and so well shot, and it was so joyous and informational and sad and heartbreaking. There was so much that went into this documentary, and it was so just like, you guys got to see it if you're into if you want to learn about, like, if you really want to educate yourself about this situation, check this one out. But I truly do believe that this was so well done. It should be required viewing. Okay, a drastic turn to a totally different film here. We did our yearly watch of Bam Margera's Where the Fuck is Santa? I've watched it every year since I was in like the 10th grade. I'm 31. It's not a phase, Mom. On the 25th, every year we pick a movie that we think my parents would. My parents are so fussy with films. They wanted to watch Red One, and they did on their own time, and they enjoyed it, not for us. So we picked a film that we thought they would like this year. Last year we watched Deepwater Horizon for Christmas. Talk about a freaking bummer. Anyways, this year we wanted to just good vibes, good laughs, so we chose Game Over Man. Alex and I are big fans of the Workaholics guys, and like Kyle Newacek has been writing for and producing What We Do in the Shadows, which has been so fun. Like, we can tell what episodes he was involved in for sure. But this was a movie my parents, I never saw them watching and I never saw them enjoying, but I was like, you know what, they're going to like this one. And the laughter that I heard from my dad on Christmas Day was truly the best gift of all. And then finally, to wrap it up, on the 27th, the last thing we watched for the month, because we watched a lot of trash TV. It just felt really good to just watch a lot of Bob's Burgers, a lot of Family Guy, a lot of just really bad reality shows and reruns. It heals the soul sometimes, you know? But on the 27th, we finally watched In Search of Darkness, the 1990 to 1994 documentary, and this, talk about how exciting. We've been waiting for this for so long. So we purchased it digitally for like a Christmas gift for us together to kind of share together. It's 6 hours. It's so good. I need the next part immediately. I cannot tell you how many times I watched the 80s, the 3 parts of the 80s In Search of Darkness. I'm obsessed with learning about these films and watching and just soaking in the knowledge of 80s and 90s horror. So when we finally got to watch this, I was so excited. It is 6 hours. We watched it over the course of 2 days, but let me tell you, once you guys get to see it, like you guys got us. It's so good. It's so I will sing the praises of In Search of Darkness forever. So anyways, I think this is the quickest monthly wrap up that we've had in quite some time. I hope that you guys enjoyed. Let me know something that you watched in the month of December that really stood out to you. I will say Anora was a very surprising watch and I really enjoyed it. So on that note, I will see you guys very soon. We are moving into pretty soon our Jalo January week here, and we're going to be talking about some films and we're going to be watching some films. So on that note, I will see you very soon. Sayonara, spooky fans.